You're listening to the Bantering Bohs Show.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Bohs fans, it's your boy JR. Do you like to shop? Of course you do. Amazon is everything you need. I mean, literally, everything you need. From Amazon Fire tablets to the latest Blu-rays and video games, all you got to do is just click on that Amazon banner on our website, thebanteringbohs.com. And if you really want to help us out and support the whole thing we got going on here, then please do us a favor. Do all your shopping through our Amazon page here at the Bantering Bohs. Thank you.
What does Marcellus Wallace look like? What country you from? What ain't no country I ever heard of? They speak English and what? English, mother. Do you speak it? Describe what Marcellus Wallace looks like. Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, mother. Say what one more goddamn time.
Oh, man. And that just made my day.
You know what? I'm just going to start off the show just like that. Damn. Yeah.
Yeah, there's your intro.
Too bad I just can't edit. Well, I'll edit it out. It's so worth it, though. Why not?
Let the F-bombs fly.
Let the F-bombs fly. We're on explicit, right? Game Genie has that hamburger treating you over there, buddy.
Oh, good.
Yeah, good? Yeah.
Let's make a sailor show, for God's sakes.
Huh? We could make one sailor show. Why not? It doesn't hurt anything. So, anyway, while Game Genie's munching on that tasty burger over there, we're going to get started.
This is the Bantering Bohs Show. Brian Thomas, the movie buff. From movie news and reviews to the most useless movie facts you don't need to know. Brian is the true connoisseur of Hollywood. Brad Beals, the video game guru. From the latest trending gaming reviews to highlights of the best games you're not playing, there's a reason we call him Game Genie. James Revere, the sports fanatic. From game recaps to stats to insight on the latest sports controversies. Move over, Bob Costas. JR will run you over. And now, here are your hosts, the Bohs.
Welcome, everyone, to the Bantering Bohs Show. My name is Brian Thomas, and joining me, as always, is the rest of the Bohs, Mr. JR.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't drinking. Oh, no, that's not me. We'll get to that.
Oh, okay, good to know. And Mr. Brad Beals.
Howdy.
How's that burger?
Pretty good, actually.
Really good? A little blue cheese,
This is a tasty burger, Brad.
It's a tasty burger.
Could
Yeah.
Could I borrow this drink to wash down your tasty burger?
And what would be that drink, my dear sir?
Oh, Surge. We'll talk about that in 1 second.
Okay.
Anyway, this show is this. Oh, God. This is the show where we recap the latest news and hot topics in games, video games, that is, sports and movies, and then banter about them. Happy Hump Day, everybody.
Hump Day.
And as always, as the show mentions at the very beginning, our show is brought to you by the Amazon page on thebanteringbohs.com, which Mr. James Revere did buy his supply of Surge soda on there.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Thanks, buddy.
As an Amazon Prime member, you get access to their pantry and all the goodies inside.
So we encourage all of our listeners to, just go to thebanteringbohs.com, click on that Amazon page and buy your Surge, and you'll be just like Game Genie in no time at all.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Anyway, though, boys, welcome back. How are we doing?
Not too bad.
Not too bad at all. Not bad at all? Maybe. I mean, well, yesterday
Look,
was...
It's good outside. It's starting to get warmer.
Yeah.
Except for the calling for Friday for snow. I don't care. I don't want to hear about that.
I don't want to hear about snow. They're calling for snow in the Baltimore, D.C. area for our listeners around the area. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, St. Patrick's Day was yesterday, and now it's turning back into winter, which is not supposed to be. So if I ever find that groundhog, I'm gonna light that little sumbitch up. I'll tell you right now. In the meantime, speaking of lighting up and stuff like that, let's go to and JR.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our police blotter. This is where we tell you about all those wonderful people in sports world who think they're above the law
Who's that guy on America's Most Wanted?
because they make a bunch of money.
Can we just call us the rich and shameless segment?
Lifestyles of the rich and famous.
Thank you, Brian. I'm Robin Leach here on Lifestyles and the Rich and Shameless.
And reporting now live from the scene of Baltimore.
As we've basically set up our own studio at Ravens headquarters in Owings Mills because nobody knows what the hell the law is actually about.
I am the Lord.
Not even Stallone could help this team out.
Yeah, where's Judge Dredd when we need him?
So
God. All right, spill the beans.
Yeah, we remember how bad last year was. You know, Ray Rice and all that. It doesn't get much better. Bernard Pierce drafted him a few years ago as a third-round pick out of Temple. A lot of people like his running style, thought he'd fit in perfectly here. Had a great rookie campaign.
Did, you know.
I mean, I think he ran for like 900 yards his rookie year.
I wasn't thinking that. I mean, you got to have at least one strike on your arrest report in order to be eligible to play for the Ravens.
You would think that. That's why Jimmy Smith was drafted first round a couple years before. Anyway, he since has fallen so far.
Sadly.
Basic way to describe his career, when Ike does his impersonation of David Caruso's career in the South Park movie, and he just falls out of the house. Kind of on that level. Bernard Pierce arrested last night on a driving under the influence charge right here in the city of Towson. Was caught doing 55 miles an hour in a 35-mile-an-hour zone just past
Which street was he on?
Yeah.
That's what I'm wondering. That's...
Yeah.
He was trying out for Fast 8.
Oh.
But
Towson. Oh, Jesus.
only problem is he can't run fast to begin with. Anyway, upon pulling him over, a cop administered a field sobriety test. There are 6 parts of said test. He failed all 6 of them. As the cuffs were being placed on him, he asked if the arrest could be please don't tell my coach. Please keep them off the books, he requested, to which the cop just laughed and said, dude, you're getting arrested for a DUI. What the hell do you want me to do? Perhaps $1 million.
Maybe it was the point when you're doing 50 and a 30, you should have been thinking.
We have one word for that.
Dumbass!
Yeah, pretty much.
Big time.
Yeah.
So as he is being loaded into the back of the cruiser, he just says, do you know what the Ravens did to the last player who was arrested for a DUI? I will be cut tomorrow. Well, he didn't have to wait till tomorrow because 2 a.m. was actually this morning. The Ravens released him, about 5 hours ago. That saves about $600,000 in cap room, which the Ravens need every penny. As they
Suggs can get some money back now.
Hey.
Well, actually, he already got it. They took that $3 million off his deal and just put it right in his pocket instead of waiting for it to year to year. But on better news now, after that $600,000 is freed from the cap, Ladarius Webb finally realizes he plays for a team instead of himself and restructures his contract, lowering his cap total. Pardon me. So that goes good for our cap situation, as the very next day after we last recorded, the Ravens bring back Justin Forsett to be their running back for the next 3 seasons.
Nice.
Most of the deals out there have been absolutely just Yankee-sized for some of these running backs. I mean, Brian, you remember how good DeMarco Murray was for your fantasy team last year as won the championship.
Of course. Yes.
He signs a 5-year, $42 million deal to go to the Philadelphia Eagles. What? Meanwhile, Justin Forsett signs a 3-year, $9 million contract. You were the 5th best rusher in all of football, and you appreciate what we did so much for your career last year. You return the favor like that. I mean, that speaks like bounds of what kind of a player and a person he is. Just
You're a goddamn genius.
Thank you, drill sergeant. I mean, it's just kind of it's so rare to see. I mean, granted, $9 million is still ridiculous to play a game 16 days
but
a year,
that's
compared to some, it's a beautiful thing.
He's not a money grubbing whore.
Yeah. Well, hell, if I was cut by the Jaguars, I'd take whatever the hell anybody gave me.
Yeah, true.
So, But
You gonna pay me to play? All right, sure. Yeah.
Will you teach me to football?
I broke it, did your toy, boss? I thought I was your friend.
I love little Michael.
You are, Svetowski. Go to sleep. Okay. But
Down, Shrek.
but now he actually wrote a really cool piece for NFL.com, is even just kind of saying why he decided to choose Baltimore. And basically, from what I just said, it was, I was on the edge of retirement, trying to maybe get a job as a mentor for the rookies, and all of a sudden Baltimore says, we want you, but we're not ready yet. A few months later, they lived up to their promise and gave me a chance, and I only have them to thank for stability. So that's why I chose.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good guy there. Ravens.
Down, Ari.
Damn right. They're not done yet. They signed Kendrick Lewis, starting free safety from Houston, who led them with, I think it was about 200 tackles last year. You can't get any worse than Matt Elam and Darian Stewart last year in our secondary. Those safeties were just... I think Brian's dog Casey could have covered more people better. But the guy plays hard. He's got decent ball instincts, like not Ed Reed worthy, but kind of in the good ballpark. Okay. He's even said if they want me to reach out to Matt Elam and be a mentor to him, I'll do it, no problem. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be honest, that boy's going to need more like Dr. Phil to mentor that kid, because I don't know what's wrong with him. He's terrible.
Yeah.
And then they also re-signed Chris Canty today to a 2-year deal worth about $2 million, which compared to what they were going to pay Nada is absolutely beautiful. Mm-hmm. So save more money there. So,
hey.
No more police news that I know of. Nothing's broken since I woke up this morning.
Are we going to set the record this year for police blotter reports? Because where are we at right now?
Dude...
Technically, you're 2, if I'm not mistaken.
I think we had 8 last year, something like that. And we've already had, we've had the one guy who never made it to the field. He got a DUI and was cut. This kid got a DUI and he
There was the
cut.
guy who was part of, he wasn't a player, but he was a member of the Ravens organization.
Oh, it was the security guy or something.
Yeah. Like, he can count. I mean, just kind of.
It's a higher by
It's
management.
still early. We have plenty of time till August, at least.
We have plenty of time to get the...
That doesn't even have to be to August. It just has to be like, the rest of the year.
Tomorrow morning.
The only thing I'm curious about
TMZ has acquired this copy of...
Oh, Jesus.
is what if, though, this wasn't a fringe player like Pierce? Mm-hmm. Say, like, I know he wouldn't because it goes against the Mormon code, but, Pitta is arrested for assault and battery outside of a nightclub or something. How would the team have reacted that way as opposed to someone who, honestly, they could give 3 craps about what happens to them? So,
And did it even announce if he's even going to be playing this year at all? Just I know I'm going off topic here.
That's what we live for, man. Bring it! From last I checked, he won't be ready for any football-related activity until summertime.
Okay.
And I think it's really just going to have... The Ravens are already going forward thinking he's going to have to retire.
Okay.
If they do manage to get him on the field and he can be productive, that's a 10-time bonus.
Yeah.
But as of
still
right now,
cover your bases.
Yeah. So that's... Don't expect much from him, but he is, from what I've heard on his interviews on 98 Rock on Monday, sounds as though he still wants to play.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it'll also be how much does his wife really feel like having to take care of his ass as well as the kids.
It means don't buy a Pitta jersey.
Don't you?
Okay.
I was very close to getting Haloti Nada last year, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah.
Honestly, your safest bets, Terrell Suggs and Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Actually,
I learned my lesson with Heap, let's be honest.
Ladarius Webb is on for the next 3 years, so maybe you might want to get him.
Or you could just buy just a no-numbered or no-name jersey and just play it safe that way.
Or cheap, yeah.
Get a jersey and put your own name on the back.
That's true.
I thought about doing that, but it just, I don't know.
I mean, that's what I did.
Would you do it, JR?
I have one.
Oh,
but
well, then, no, I'm going to take back what I just said. Never mind.
I have one, but I got it signed by Ladarius Webb, so it's now in a frame.
Okay.
But,
I was about to say something, that's real douchey or something like that.
Well, hey, it's the best way to protect your investment.
Oh, well.
You blow it!
Yeah.
So. But quick Oriole news of note, Matt Wieters, Tommy John surgery in June. He was relieved of all catching duties for the next week due to elbow tendonitis in said elbow. According to world-renowned Tommy John guru, Dr. James Andrews, this guy has cut every single Major League Baseball player for the last 15 years who's had a Tommy John surgery.
Wow.
He knows what he's talking about. According to him, it's at least a 9-month to a year-long process of rehab. The tendonitis is perfectly normal. It's going to be some bumps and bruises along the way. This is just his elbow saying, holy crap, I haven't done this in a long time. This is weird. So, no cause for alarm. He can still swing the bat as of probably Sunday, they said, would be the earliest he can come back. Me, personally, if he's got a DH for a while until the elbow gets... Go for it.
Not so bad.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Honestly, compared to what catching position did for us last year, I will take anything. Hey, Casey, do you want to play for the Orioles? Good
Hey,
girl.
he's good at catching the ball, I imagine.
Yeah. Hey,
She even brings it back, too.
She'll be like Smalls running it in from left field to the pitcher. But so that's the only major Oriole news going right now. Now, of course, the talk of the town is the NCAA March Madness.
March Madness.
March Madness. Did you fill out your bracket?
Nope.
Don't care.
Still trying to finish mine. Best contest I've seen thus far is through Green Turtle. They will actually offer anybody who fills out a perfect bracket will be given the keys to their very own Green Turtle franchise.
Wow.
Say what?
You managed to fill out the perfect bracket. CEO of Green Turtle. Here you go.
So it's like, that building, you own it.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's wow.
I don't know how good that'd be for business if you have no business savvy.
Experience.
It's Green Turtle. It'll work. Don't worry.
Your name's just there as a vanity play.
Offer them mugs on the loyalty program.
Uh-huh.
Bring plenty of wings. They'll be fine.
Yeah, true. Mm-hmm.
Everyone's pretty much already got Kentucky locked in to win this thing from what I've been listening to. They ran the table this season through their conference championship as well as the regular season, looking to potentially become the first team to go a perfect 40-0. Wow. I think since like the 60s. I'm not sure. It's only one other team has come close, I think. Actually, it might have been UNLV in 91. I'll have to check on that. Because I don't watch much basketball.
I was going to say, I'm showing interest, but I have no idea about this.
I am totally...
I went to D3
I can say, go Terps.
I am in over my head right now. I have no idea. Speaking of the Terps, they go in as a surprising 4th seed, which a lot of people, oh my God, why? Well, it's mainly because they're in the same bracket as the said Kentucky Wildcats. If Maryland manages to make it past Valparaiso, who goes in as the 13th seed, which a lot of people are saying we don't have a very good chance to, they have to win 2 games, and then they will get to go home because they play Kentucky in the Sweet 16. So, nobody thought the Terps would make it this far. They've got a very young team, and the fact they played this good in their first year together bodes so well for the future, and they put themselves on the map in the Big Ten. So many more states exposed to the program. Recruiting is going to be great for years to come with the success of the franchise. I still haven't even filled a bracket out, but you can't argue with a team that boasts 3 7-foot players, and they will have at least 3, possibly 5 potential people drafted in the NBA draft this year.
Good grief.
Yeah,
Kentucky is the breeding ground for future NBA players. So until someone proves different, Kentucky would be the odds-on favorite. My underdog, I guess, to beat them would be the Arizona Wildcats for some reason, because it sounded like a good idea, and I like the Arizona Wildcats. Because
So in other words,
that was Sandra Bullock's College in Speed.
I'll be damned.
Arizona Wildcats.
He called you Wildcat.
Just had that camera in your face. See the whole bus.
Yeah.
Damn.
I guess now's a good time if you live in like the middle of nowhere, or if you went to one of those colleges like in,
If
Fargo, North Dakota, South Dakota, whatever.
If you are in a
well,
town,
I reckon that I'm gonna fill out that bracket.
I keep watching that damn basketball because we ain't got nothing else in this town except for curling. And hell, my wife curls just fine on the kitchen floor. She curls it every time she.
Shut up, Jim! I just got dinner.
Honey, go curl again. The floor's dirty. So, but yeah, that's my extremely rookie analysis of the basketball
Hey, you
tournament.
gave it your best shot. Good job.
Kentucky wins. Arizona might upset them.
Okay.
And, yeah, Brad, what do you got?
All right.
What was that?
There it is.
Ah, there it is. You needed that extra quarter in there, Bradley.
I got it halfway and it came right back down.
Drink more, Serge, you bastard.
Did you ever have that one time where you try to put a quarter in, it's like it doesn't go all the way, it just pops right back out?
I hate it when you
stuck in there.
Yeah,
I
you
think.
put the quarter in and it just doesn't go far enough.
Yeah, and then you
Yeah.
push the button, and then it just like drops it right in there.
Or sometimes you push the button, you never come back either.
Push the button.
Push the button.
Yeah.
But on to actual video game news and stuff related to technology. Windows 10, possible release dates. This summer to be released as well. No definite guarantee on what time it'll be released on a specific date, but looking to have it around the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, give it a ding because, hey, whatever gets rid of Windows 8, thank God. Again, for those who are Windows 8 and Windows 7 users, within the first year release of it, you do get a free upgrade to Windows 10.
I'm not doing it.
Well, again, I do want to wait and see the reviews and see how everything is, because let's be honest, whatever applications you have on your thing, those will probably have to be upgraded as well. If you're on a PC and looking to upgrade, I mean, I'm probably going to do. My suggestion is, and what I'm probably going to do, and many others will do, is probably get another hard drive or an SSD drive. Have one of your old OS on your regular drive, and then on the new SSD, put the Windows 10 on that. So then you can kind of switch back and forth depending to see if it'll run well or not. That's more of a safe bet insurance. And worst comes to worst, you have another SSD drive to put more of your games on. So, but they do want to keep, again, this will roll out, of course, against Windows PC, smartphones, tablets, and Xbox One, of course, it'll roll out too.
Okay.
But they do want to confirm that they are bringing League of Legends to Windows 10. Even though it's already out on every freaking thing. So people who play LoL, don't worry. It'll work still. Dota, we'll see how Steam does, especially. So, but it is coming, especially. On to other news. Big entertainment company, Skybound Entertainment, was founded by Robert Kirkman, the creator of The Walking Dead, is actually going to be doing a partnership with Indiecade and looking to do a lot more program awareness of indie developers and independent game developers, especially with Indiecade, which is a big conference to promote especially indie games. In this program, he's looking to be bringing, of course, more awareness to different media outlets, and as well as perhaps also a web series dedicated to it as well. So, hey, whatever gives out more exposure to the indie guys, I'm totally for. And surprising, this is coming from the company from, basically the guy who created The Walking Dead. It's like, hey, you know what? These indie guys, they need more light. Let's bring it out to them. So, I love it.
Show a little love to the little guy.
Hey, you got to, especially. Where do you think a lot of the original content comes from?
Yeah.
Let's be honest. I mean, even the movies, you get like same old over, but then...
Yeah,
in any form of entertainment.
Probably the better ideas come from them anyway.
The ones that take the risks, that's surprisingly.
Yes.
Or the ones that stay up all night, hopped up in Mountain Dew and acid. But
Yeah.
oh, man.
And that's how you get like the Binding of Isaac. Shut up.
I didn't say anything.
Sure, I know what you're thinking.
It was the iPad.
I didn't.
The
I didn't.
iPad. It
say a
was the
word.
iPad.
It's become self-aware because of Windows 8, Windows 10, whatever.
Wait, Windows 10 got on the iPad now?
I don't know.
You
People can
bootleg it?
put Windows on there. I don't know.
You get boot camp stuff.
Sure.
On to other news as well. Apparently, as an interesting move, especially as a legal form that Steam is doing, is now it's being requiring users to disclose any information regarding paid or endorsed products on showcase products in the Steam curator list and the Steam broadcasting list. So that means if you were paid by a company or endorsed, you have to disclose that information to you, because much like anything on YouTube or Twitch or anything like that, if you are endorsed or paid for that, you have to disclose information. Steam's setup so far hasn't had that in the past, so that could be a means that people can get a workaround. But now with this latest end user agreement, you have to disclose that information, which would make sense because if you're doing a video for, let's say, an easy one to do is like Battlefield Hardline that just came out, but you're being paid by EA essentially, well, and you like to put that, well, again, it wouldn't be on Steam, it'd be on Origins, but regardless. If you were doing that, you have to say that, like, hey, I'm getting paid. I know they have it like through Ronku or something, but you have to disclose the information that this is sponsored by said, thing. Because, again, that can also be legal ways of swaying your, viewers there into a false sense of, misleading their impression of the game. So it's a legal thing out there. But we do also have noticed that especially with Steam, Dead Rising 2 and the Dead Rising 2 Off the Record have now been switched over to Steamworks. So now they are off the Games for Windows Live DRM crapness that it is. And now have moved over, especially. So you can pick that up right now.
Good.
People who originally do have the Games for Windows Live, it still works. There's a way to move your stuff over to the Steam's work so you can get the achievements, trading cards, and all that fun stuff. Purchases are made in game. It hasn't been any word if they were going to be transferred over. I imagine they would, but that one I have to check on the forums especially. But good to see they're off the Games for Windows Live because that's a terrible service that it is, and move it over to Steamworks. So good to see that.
It's Windows.
No, because region locking and all that other crap that it was. But of course, that was part of their the Capcom announced that it would be bringing those games over in addition to Resident Evil 5 especially. Still waiting on Resident Evil 5 to be moved over. I guess that's probably the next one on the list to do it, but that's still on the Games for Windows Live thing, so we'll wait to see that. And interesting news, especially to find out, former Rare developers have created a new, have gotten together and made up a new company called Playtonic, and they're looking to make a spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie, codename Project Ukulele right now. It's just a product idea. They have an in-game engine picture shown up, which looks quite gorgeous, I must say, out there, but looks in the style of the Banjo-Kazooie games. It's going to be a Kickstarter project that's starting up in May this year, so that'll be up there and looks to be hinging on just crowdfunding itself. Now, this has gotten so far just from the initial reaction, very positive reaction because people have a lot of interest, especially with that series, the Banjo-Kazooie, and enjoyed that kind of 3D platformer collectathon, especially, and having a big following. They're like, yeah, totally. If you guys who did it before, yeah, go ahead and do it. So do keep aware out to there. Again, it's project named Project Ukulele. We just have a screenshot out from the in-game engine. Again, it looks really good, and if it's from the guys who did it prior, why not give them a chance? But again, do keep a word. This is a Kickstarter program, so you may be kind of leery with that, especially. Because it's basically when you do Kickstarter, you're kind of donating and funding an idea or a thought.
Yeah.
So there's no real guarantee on it. So
if there's true fans out there,
they'll
if it has a following,
if it especially Banjo-Kazooie, because that's very memorable to a lot of people's eyes. It was a good game back in the day, especially.
My question is, how did they get the rights to Banjo-Kazooie? I mean, did it?
No. It's going to be a spiritual successor, so it's not going to be.
They're not going to call it.
They're not going to call it Banjo-Kazooie. It'll probably be another game, completely separate.
Okay.
But the gameplay style will be in the same regards.
I see.
It's similar to another one out there that went through Steam Greenlights. It got through it, but it's still in development now. I think it's also still, I can't remember if its Kickstarter is still up there. A Hat in Time, which does the same gameplay style. That's another one of those kind of pretty looking cartoonish kind of games, but that's still in development. I remember that being announced like a year or two ago, I'm sorry to say. I just have not heard anything on it, unfortunately, but maybe it'd just be a thing with the developer in itself where we have this really, really great idea. We've had so much thing done, but then they don't realize how long it's going to take to actually finish said product. Easy way I can kind of go about this is if you go back and look at the whole development process of Phil Fish's Fez, especially, like he kept pushing that game back because he didn't realize how big of an endeavor that was. So. But then again, these are guys who've been in the industry before and not some indie guys, so maybe promise there. So just keep an eye out for it just to see.
Anything can happen with the Kickstarter now. I mean, really.
That's a true thing. I mean, for God's sakes, a thing about potato salad gets a lot of attention for one thing. Hey, I say more. We did get news on the upcoming, especially Mortal Kombat X. You know where I'm going. I know, Brian, you touched... Well...
Okay, that's what my initial reaction was before we talked about it. So
you hear Mortal Kombat and you saw delay in there.
Yes.
The delay, I will clarify, is for the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3 version.
Damn you, IGN, for reporting that.
See, this is why I don't like IGN, because they just say delay.
I'm kidding. No, I'm sure they're good over there.
Yeah, so Xbox 360 and the
dipshits.
It's a sensational news. I'm telling you, everybody's gonna know. They want Burger King scented perfume in Japan. Yeah. Thanks, IGN. Mm-hmm. Mortal Kombat X, the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 version are being delayed to this summer 2015. The PC, the Xbox One, and the PlayStation 4 version are still going to be released on April 14th.
Okay.
So we did get news from there. Again, the 360, the PS3, and the PC version are going to be handled by High Voltage Software, not NetherRealm Studios. They took care of the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4 version of the game. So I'm assuming from that means we're just porting it over and we're outsourcing it to another company to take care of that. But what disturbs me is that they're working on the PC port as well. So that's where I'm just worrying how that will hold up, especially. Mm-hmm. But they did also announce this past Friday, surprisingly, it'd be Friday the 13th, and very apropos.
Yeah.
Out of the four characters they're going to be releasing of their season pass, the first character to be released is the iconic Jason from the Friday the 13th series.
Nice.
So kind of going in line with what they did with their last Mortal Kombat game and releasing iconic horror films villains, especially last Mortal Kombat game they had Freddy Krueger in it. so this time around we're going to have Jason himself. So especially for Mortal Kombat, I mean, when you can slice people in half, who's the most character you can think of to do that? So yeah,
Jason.
Yeah, true, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Did everybody see the meme of him when he was, or the little replay video when he goes through Manhattan and he just knocks off the boombox from the guys in New York, where they're like, it's Friday the 13th again. He just knocks that off, the boombox off. We got to post that.
Probably have to.
Jason.
And we did finally get around. The public can finally play. I know. To the public, we finally have access to the demo for Final Fantasy 13. Not 13. Final Fantasy 15. Aptly named for some odd reason, as pretentious it is. Final Fantasy 15 episode. I don't even know. Japan, come on with some like easy things to pronounce.
Hey.
Sorry, but
that's not funny at all. Okay.
No, it's like literally it's Duscae. How do you pronounce that?
I think that might be a Japanese translation of maybe dusk.
I was thinking duck.
A deuce. Yeah, again, this is the demo that's paired with the recently released Final Fantasy Type O HD, which was the re-release of the PlayStation portable PSP game from 2011, now being ported out to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. So bundled with that game is the demo. So we finally are able to actually play Final Fantasy 15 for the longest time, since we've only seen trailers for God knows how many years now. But finally get a chance to see it. Gameplay is a little bit more like a closest thing I can think of, and a lot of people are probably going to point this out, maybe a little bit like Dynasty Warriors almost. You have like a third-person free combat style situation, but the combat's kind of, I want to say kind of dumbed down. It's like you literally just hold down the button and you kind of auto-attack almost with it. So you do have a lock-on system. Leveling up's a little bit different. As you go into battles, you gain experience, but you don't actually level up till your crew actually camps for the night in a nearby area. So,
dude, the footage of
the trailers,
the summoner for
God, yes. It's just so gorgeous, and it's like I really want to play.
Reminded me of like the good old days with the GFs on Final Fantasy VIII back on like the
old, especially Final Fantasy 7. The old summoning trailers. I mean, Square Enix is known for definitely doing gorgeous cutscenes and special effects. Especially out there that we finally get to play it and see how it is. And of course, we're just like, we just want the actual game like now. I mean, we've been waiting for how long for this? Again, Final Fantasy 15 started out as being part of Final Fantasy 13's trilogy style games that we're going to do. It was originally codenamed Final Fantasy Versus 13, but down development cycles are like, what we want to do for this game, we can't do on this hardware. Just going to move it over to PlayStation 4 and take it off that series and make its own thing. So, but at least we finally can, play a little bit of it and get some hope that it's like, it's actually a real thing and not, gorgeous trailers they keep showing out. So thank God we can finally see that.
Nerd.
Don't care. On to also bigger news as well. The Elder Scrolls. Good news, everyone. The Elder Scrolls Online has now relaunched and is now being rebranded as Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Unlimited because they have now removed the monthly subscription cost for the game. So it is now a one-time buy of the game. You buy it once, play it forever, kind of MMO. They do have an in-game storefront if you want to buy like cosmetics or quote-unquote convenience items, which is like probably like faster leveling up or faster, boosts or something. So side upgrades if you want. Similar to those who play Guild Wars has right now, especially. So, but at least they finally got rid of the monthly subscription. It's like, yeah, now people might want to start playing since the content is out there and actually pretty good. Mm-hmm. And also from a company that's actually from here, Maryland too, from the Valley. So yeah. Yeah, so Elder Scrolls Online, you can go ahead and buy that and get kind of a premium if you want to as well, pay for that. And on to the biggest, actually before I start to the biggest news especially, one last thing I do want to touch on especially, with the recent release of Battlefield Hardline that just came out as well, that unfortunately there was, on day one, they were hit by DDoS and attacks on the Xbox One version, apparently. They had a report, so... Sorry to hear that, especially, but don't worry. There is a rideable couch within the game as an Easter egg. As I was showing the trailer to these guys earlier beforehand. I love it when developers put stuff like that into a game.
Nothing says badass like barreling after some bad guys on a Barca Lounger with an AK-47.
America! And when you run them over, it says in the kill feed, Merca. But
wow. How do you think up this stuff? Not you particularly Game Genie, but I mean just...
When developers are sitting there and a lot of times what it comes down to is during the development process, especially because a lot of the art department is probably there in the beginning of the stages, but towards the end they don't really have much. So usually what they'll do is they'll have them work on like DLC items or something like that, off-screen. But they'll probably at that point give them like, okay, here's a free time, kind of brainstorm whatever you want. And someone comes up with probably during that time, why don't we have them drive around on a couch? I mean, I can even remember stories. I remember going back when... or that's one way of inspiration, maybe.
Speaking of Surge... Yeah, I got an idea for a game.
I got an idea, guys.
Hey, guys, we spent a lot of time on this couch while we were developing. Why don't we put it in the game?
That's a great idea, and then we can run over
make
people
it
while we're at it.
Holy crap, dude, what do you want? Just Red Bull? Oh.
Yeah. And then just because we were watching Team America, we can just put America.
Yeah. Yeah, again, that's what I imagine doing something like that. You just have the art department that's during the later stages of development that's just kind of sitting there. It's like, why not use them to create something, as well? So, for productivity purposes. But
they called the art department around here in Maryland, Towson University Art Department.
No, I thought that was Micah. Oh, dear God. But on to let's be honest, the actual news that I know you two have been waiting for. And I know I'm going to have to queue up Ryan for a timpani on this one.
Oh, you got it, buddy. Anything for you.
For the biggest news of the day, and I know I point this out, ladies and gentlemen, coming this April to Xbox 360 and Xbox One, Goat Simulator.
Yeah. There is a god.
Only a year after the game's... Yes, that is actually in the game. Only a year after the game's actual release on April 1st, 2014 on PC, Goat Simulator has made its way from the PC to the iOS and now onto your Xbox One and Xbox 360.
Dude, are you getting the next thing for Call of Duty Advanced Warfare? To hell with you, dude. I'm Goat Simulator.
Looking to be released this April. I honestly would find it even more hilarious if they do release it on April 1st. Because how much more apropos would that be?
Games with gold. Goat Simulator.
Oh, God, I would not be surprised if that thing goes gold within a half bit. Oh, how'd that start off as a game jam session, surprisingly enough. But, yeah, just on to the news with that, and, well, that pretty much wraps me up, so... Ryan, what do you got for me? How can you top that?
I think I can.
Nothing's better than Goat Simulator.
Running over people with couches and goats for Xbox One? Damn, man.
Yeah, exactly. You thought I had nothing today, but let me tell you.
Oh, I know you had something there, Game Genie. But you got sore biceps, so and a tasty burger. All right, boys. Starting off with the weekend box office report. Number one this week. I didn't really mention it that was coming out, but the live action that is, Cinderella, ended up coming in at number one at $70 million.
God damn.
Yeah.
And this was done by Disney, correct?
This is done by Disney. Now,
obviously,
this is from the director who did the original Thor movie, Kenneth Branagh. And it's from the director. He also directed Jack Ryan, Shadow Recruit. Didn't see the movie, but even Chris Pine's apologizing for that, which is pretty.
Tells you something.
Captain Kirk, you screwed it. But yeah, no, this is great. I don't really get to see these movies too much, mainly because I have no interest in them. But
if they're done well,
if it's done well, we have two Jungle Books movies coming up by two different directors. One by Jon Favreau, who directed Iron Man, and the other one is the guy who does the motion capture, Andy Serkis.
Just hope they're not using Vince Vaughn as Mowgli.
Fucking Louis Dior.
Yeah, so that'd be pretty cool if Robert Downey Jr. made a guest appearance in there too.
Anybody see this talking monkey?
Yeah.
Come on.
Then you have Jarvis in there. You're talking a little bit about. We'll get back to the comic book report in a minute.
Jarvis is
anyway,
gone.
though, but no, it's good that as us kids who grew up with Disney movies or whatever, I think actually the first Disney movie I ever saw was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs or whatever. Bambi. So, I mean, it's going to be hard to make those kind of live action or whatever. I'm not saying it's not. I'm sure it could happen or whatever.
As long as it's done well. I mean, you can see where Disney's done bad. Do I need to bring up the Haunted Mansion?
Yeah. Apparently, what Disney did with this is they got rid of the songs, but they kept everything practically the same and just put it in actual live action format. They're going to do a Beauty and the Beast movie with Emma Watson,
Miss Hermione Granger.
But at the same time, I'm like, wow, Disney, you really don't have too much originality right now.
So, and they're bringing back the guy who did all the music for that to do Beauty and the Beast. So pretty much, it's remaking their own movie all over again and stuff like that. And
even though it's not already done
and they're actually talking about what's his name, Tim Burton directing. Ready for it? A Dumbo movie.
What?
Now tell me,
Mom, Dad, can you get the kids' nightmares, please? Thank you.
So
what?
Yeah. So Dumbo's going to do a G5, and then he's just going to be it's going to turn into a Nightmare Before Christmas. With his head hanging half off or something like that. I don't know.
I don't even want to know how he does the crows.
Have you ever seen an elephant fly?
It'll be the most depressing thing you ever saw.
Yeah.
Wow. Tim Burton. Wow.
But we would like to think
hang himself from his tail.
Well, as long as Johnny Depp's not in it, then it should be okay. That's all.
Exactly.
We already know
Johnny Depp would be the crows.
All of them.
Actually, after the divorce, you'd probably think Helena Bonham Carter is lanky enough to be the crows.
Oh, actually, she was in Cinderella. That's the fairy godmother.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Anywho, moving on. Run All Night, a.k.a. Taken 4.5, came in at $11.1 million. Before I forget, Liam Neeson said that he has 2 years left of doing action movies, and then he's calling it quits. Mike,
Till the money calls.
take that for what it's worth. We don't know what's going to happen. I mean, if you want good mindless action movies, go see these movies or whatever. It's not the top on my list. I'm in a Redbox or whatever. I mean, for what it was, Taken 3 was pretty good. I mean, Taken 1's still the best one out of them all. Unknown, that was pretty good. The one where he was in the plane with what's her name? The one who just won the Oscar. Anyway, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, he's got some. The guy's won. I think he's won an Oscar before, if I'm not mistaken. He's at least been nominated for an Oscar it was Schindler's List or something, if I'm not mistaken. So he's doing everything that he's touching on every kind of movie. He's done comedy before. The guy can do anything. He's been in Lego Movie. He's been in your Western movie, from Seth MacFarlane. So, I mean, you know what?
Million Ways to Die in the West. Yes,
who knows what he can do next? He can do whatever he wants. He's like our dad's age. So, hey, hats off to him. He's done some good movies, and he's made a lot of money doing it, though, too. Mm-hmm. And he seems like a pretty stand-up guy. Kingsman, back up a spot. It's $6.2 million, taking number 3. That tops it off at $102.3 million. Focus is down from second place. It is now $5.8 million for this week, and coming in a total of $23.3 million. We've said this before. It's Will Smith. He's not going to have the box office draw that he had before, and that's understandable. I mean, he's got some ass kissing to do, to say the least, or whatever.
The will letting him is over.
We'll talk more about that with Suicide Squad. Chappie down from first at $5.8 million.
That must
topping
be a good
it off
movie.
at also $23.3 million.
What do you say, JR? Sorry.
That must not be a good movie.
Well, since we were talking about Neil Blomkamp doing an Alien reboot of some sorts, I mean, this is, obviously the studio, saw the movie and they're like, okay, we like this direction where this guy's going. I mean, I don't know if this is going to be a couple years down the road where I apologize for this movie also or whatever. I hope this guy isn't a one-hit wonder. We've seen that with the Wachowski siblings, like with the Matrix movies,
I think the main problem was, though, I didn't really see much of Chappie until like a week before it came out.
I saw plenty of ads. I mean,
I'd see plenty before movies if I'd actually go to the cinema and go see something.
Right.
Yeah.
But just in
TV
general,
didn't see a lot.
I just think that I don't know. Maybe it just wasn't for everybody or whatever. It just looks like it's been there, done that before. We said it was RoboCop meets Johnny Five, and we just, I don't know.
In South Africa,
Pretty much.
There's nothing wrong with South Africa.
Huh? No, nothing wrong with that at all. No. So moving on to the biggest part of the news. Of course, it had to happen after we recorded, the day after, whatever.
Goat Simulator live action.
No.
starring Michael Caine as the goat.
Yes.
Hey, can you throw it down over there? We're trying to do a podcast over here.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Han shot first. So, Star Wars Episode 8 news, and I have a lot of Star Wars 8 news, so I have to stretch for this one. Anywho, Disney and Lucasfilm had their shareholder meeting last Thursday, right after we recorded, like I mentioned. Now, they have announced that Looper director, the movie Looper, I don't know if you guys had a chance to see that. Actually, a pretty good movie. It had Bruce Willis and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Joseph Gordon-Levitt was playing Bruce Willis, and it was actually really good. It had a little bit of time travel, sci-fi action in it, and I liked it. I definitely check it out. It was kind of I don't want to say sleeper hit, but it had it still has a good following. Anyway, the director of that, Rian Johnson, will be writing and directing Episode 8. I take this as good news. The guy knows sci-fi. J.J. Abrams, he's directing The Force Awakens, and then he's going to
hand it off.
We'll get to that in a minute. He's going to take a pause. His S is on pause.
He'll handcuff himself to the entire project, but just kind of stand back and let you poke at it.
I'm sure he'll have executive producer credits on that, to say the least. There's no title yet on this movie, so we really have no idea. We only know that it's going to be being released in May 26, 2017. This is good because, Star Wars, everybody knows, May the 4th be with you. Right now, this Star Wars movie, The Force Awakens, is actually going to be in December of this year, as will be the newly titled one. And I will do a timpani here too, Bradley. The title for the first spin-off of Star Wars is Rogue One. Now, for any of you that have an idea about Star Wars and have seen maybe the actual trilogy before, you are familiar with what Rogue means. Any ideas? That's okay. Rogue Squadron.
Rogue One standing by. Red October standing by.
Big Red standing by. Simply Red standing by.
Yes.
Red Fox standing by. I'm coming, Elizabeth.
Enough. All right, so yes, they are talking hopefully about Rogue Squadron. What else could it be but Rogue Squadron in there? It is going to be directed by Gareth Edwards, who was the director of Godzilla, as a matter of fact. Now, we kind of knew that already, but we know that it is now definitely going to star Felicity Jones, who was Oscar nominated for her movie The Theory of Everything in there. And the release date is said to be December 16, 2016. It's actually going to be written by the guy who just wrote Cinderella, Chris Weitz. And there was a lot of rumors going around about what the first Star Wars spinoff is going to be. Is it going to be Yoda? Is it going to be Jesse from Breaking Bad playing Han Solo? Is it going to be about like this heist about the bounty hunters? it still could happen about the bounty hunters.
Okay.
So we don't know even what time frame this is going to be. That's, I guess, kind of the beauty of these spin-offs. They can do whatever they want with this.
Yeah.
Disney had announced, if for those of you that don't remember this, that they're going to release a Star Wars film every year.
Yeah.
Every year. So, and it's filling...
They're milking the hell out of this franchise.
It is filling in the gaps. And, you
had nothing for years.
Yeah.
Now you're getting everything. Be thankful.
Pretty much.
I wonder if Flow Ride is just going to change the name of Wild One song from 2012 to Rogue One.
I don't know. But, Disney puts a new meaning to...
Mind the gap.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So this is good. I mean, if this happens to be about the whole Rogue Squadron, I get excited because I think back, Bradley,
You think back to
N64 and the whole Rogue Squadron or whatever. You do a whole movie on that, I am sold. Take my money, and that's I'm done.
Shut up and take my money.
Shut up and take my money. Absolutely. We don't know too much more about that, unfortunately. We can only speculate up to this time. Now, you guys know I don't like to do a lot of rumors, but this could be a rumor of all rumors.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, you know what? Why not do it again?
Channing Tatum's retiring.
We're not that lucky. No.
Damn.
No. Episode 9. It is being rumored by Latino Review, where you get all your news, that
now it all makes sense from you.
J.J. Abrams is or could be returning to direct Episode 9. Now, I give it a ding. But all right, we'll talk about this in one sec. Hold on.
Okay.
He did speak. When he was asked about Episode 7, he said he's going to be taking a break or whatever. And I said that in hyphens, like Dr. Evil,
AKA Star Trek 3.
Yeah.
No, he's not doing that.
Oh, okay.
No, Justin Lin is directing that from the Fast and Furious trilogy, or whatever they call that, Octopussly or whatever. I don't know.
I am now having the Starship Enterprise doing a drift in space with Bow Wow.
He doesn't go by that anymore.
Oh yeah. What do they call that? It's called drift.
It's called drift.
God, you side tracking son of a bitch. Anyway, reports say that Disney was so impressed by the footage that they saw of Episode 7, The Force Awakens, that they want JJ back. And the thing is, it's not going to be released until 2019, so there is some time. J.J. Abrams can do any movie that he wants, and anything he sinks his teeth into, it's usually been pretty good overall. I think the guy's got a good track record. The one that was the monster movie. It came out. It was pretty much the Goonies. No, it was about, not that one. It was about the Goonies. Pretty much the Goonies and E.T. remade.
That type of video camera.
Yeah.
It was a good movie.
It was good when I saw it. I mean, it's one that you really can't go back and rewatch. I mean, it was kind of like it was a throwback to Steven Spielberg almost.
Was that
in a way,
the one where the kid's got the powers or something?
No. He's got the video camera. Anyway, if you can look that up for me while we're at it. Anyway, though, I don't know what to think about this yet.
Super 8.
Super 8, thank you.
Okay,
the camera was a Super 8. That's right. That was overall a pretty good movie, all things considered. His first directorial debut, believe it or not, was Mission Impossible 3. Before that, he was doing Alias and kind of as a showrunner on Lost for just a little bit. Actually, he directed the pilot of Lost, if I'm not mistaken. But the guy's been around for a little while. Yeah, he's done the Star Trek movies, and nerds can think what they want about that. That's fine. No one has seen anything but a trailer for this, and we still are with about, I'd say about 8 to 9 months left until Star Wars is released or whatever. I don't know.
Time for editing.
Yeah, I mean, but I take this as a good sign, because if you have a director coming back directing 2 movies back to back, usually they run out of steam or whatever.
Yeah.
And if he takes this break and maybe he has plenty of time to gather some ideas and he lets this other guy direct this movie and maybe they work together and they can come up with something, even better. Who knows? I mean, his goal right now is just to get the bad taste out of everybody's mouth about about that crappy trilogy, the prequels right now. Rian Johnson still could come back to direct this. We don't know yet, but thought it was a pretty interesting tidbit of news anyway.
It's a rumor, so
we will see. It is a rumor. We disclose it is a rumor.
We'll see how we react to 7 first, then we'll see.
Now, this is not a rumor. Lucasfilm will be releasing a new book trilogy to bridge the gap of the Star Wars movies from what has happened
because all expanded universe is no longer canon, folks.
Exactly. But they are releasing like 20 some books, comics, and kids stories or whatever that's all counted as canon now. now what they're going to be doing is releasing this book trilogy. It's called Star Wars Aftermath, and what's going to be talking about is like a new government like forming after the fall of the Empire, and pretty much after the Death Star exploded or whatever.
The Empire's not fallen; it's still there.
Well, pretty in a sense, yes. Yeah. I mean, when the Death Star blew up. I mean, not everybody heard it. Not everybody got that memo. Pretty much. So there are other planets out there in the galaxy. So and of course, there's going to be other things going on there. So
they just took a big financial hit.
Yeah. So anyway, if you guys want to catch up on that, you're more than welcome to. I will get you a release date on that. Now, are we ready for some fighting words out there, boys?
Shots fired.
Shots fired. Oh, yeah. You guys are familiar with the name...
Damn! Seriously, you gotta look to where you...
Shots fired.
Well, we are in Baltimore, and I think Jason Momoa might have been in Baltimore either, too, and Marvel. Jason Momoa, for those of you that do not know that name, he is your new Aquaman. And
poor guy.
No. I mean, he's I gotta admit, he's pretty easy on the eyes, and the ladies are gonna love him. Whatever.
The manliest looking Aquaman in the existence of Aquaman.
Aquaman. We need help in the Himalayas. Well, you should call somebody else.
You should call Batman. I'm kind of busy with the water stuff.
Yeah. Where was Aquaman when Man of Steel or Superman was drowning before? Yeah, that's all I want to know.
Who the hell is that? I don't like him. I'm the king down here.
You blow it!
Pretty much. So Jason Momoa was over at Indiana Comic-Con, and he was signing autographs over there and stuff like that. And, I got to get the beep out for this one because this is... Well, it is radio edit, of course. Momoa was autographing a fan's poster. It had that new picture. I think we posted it, actually, about, it has Aquaman. It said, Unite the Seven on there, whatever. And he put on there, Marvel, signed Jason Momoa. And, it's just like, okay, no harm done, of course. Yeah, right. I have no problem with it. Looking at it from both sides or whatever, I will say this. It's not the first time that Marvel and DC have trash talked each other or whatever. We say last week, DC really has nothing but Man of Steel right now. So Marvel's just kind of sitting over there, be like, "What do you got?"
They got a party going on. Pulls up, they're like, "What's up, Paula?"
Guys, we're so confident. We're gonna let Ant-Man take this one.
So of course everybody in social media was pretty pissed off, including all the fans and yada yada yada. So what did he do? He took to social media and said, had fun in Indiana. Remember, everyone, don't take so seriously. Love, eat, drink, laugh, be merry, aloha.
I like this guy more and more.
I do like this guy. But all right, so
Aquaman, first day, I'm there.
Yeah. So you can take
I need one more of those.
Yeah. You can take it two ways. You can say, okay, he's being a little bit, inconsiderate. He's kind of being kind of a jerk by saying that or whatever.
And if you do, you're a pansy, but keep going.
Yeah. Yep. At the same time, it's just like, it's all in good fun. Yeah. Whatever. How many times has Anthony Mackie said, "Oh, Marvel's got their S together," and yada, yada, yada.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, okay, well, whatever. That's, like I said, both Marvel and DC need each other to get this whole comic book thing continued. This
competition helps,
yes,
because it drives new ideas. If you have to think of new ways to be creative and everything else, that's good. Competition is a good thing, people.
Right. So that's why Apple allows Windows to still be around.
Exactly.
Go ahead, make Windows 10. It's going to suck, but
what are you going to go to? Linux? No, trust me. God bless you, Linux people out there.
Anywho, though, so I see no real harm in it or whatever. I thought it was pretty funny. I mean, and just how he signed it was pretty cool too. Just like F Marvel signed Jason Momoa. Anyway, though, continuing with DC news, Suicide Squad. All right, now I disclose that this is a rumor. This is a possible spoiler. Okay, and so you have been warned. We're going to talk about the Batman cameo possibly happening in Suicide Squad.
Dun, dun, dun.
Now, once again, my buddies over at Latino Review.
Oh God!
Yeah,
we read this in the back of a paper.
We read this in the back of a paper or something.
Somebody wrote it down inside of a porta john on the side of the highway, so we bring it to
you. Yeah. So my buddies over at Latino Review, Brian Thomas. I'm kidding.
At thebanteringbohs.com. So people said there, Brian.
They were reporting that there's some sort of that Batman's going to have a cameo in Suicide Squad. We kind of knew this already, but he's kind of being hinted around as like the big boogeyman that the government really, really hates. Okay, stick with me on this. Okay,
he's a vigilante for the city. We got to take him down.
So no one knows his identity aside from, well, not really, or knows that he really even exists. Almost in a way, though, too, to a point. More to the point that the Joker, who is definitely going to be in Suicide Squad, played by Jared Leto, is the only one who's actually met him before.
Right.
So this falls into when they're actually in the prison, Amanda Waller, and she's actually going to meet with the Joker, and he's like kind of like doing his Hannibal Lecter working out routine thing or whatever, and she's going to be asking him and what he knows about him and so forth, or whatever.
What you know about the bats.
Yeah. Now she believes, Amanda Waller believes that Batman is the key to her finding the supers. I guess like so, the Man of Steels, and all those other superpower people or whatever. So pretty much right now, Batman he's gone away or whatever. It's going to be kind of in the format of The Dark Knight Returns. We've talked about this before. Possibly one of his sidekicks has died, and so which would give it a good reason for why he's been in hiding. Also, too, there's talks about like Batman, like robot Batman suits or robot Batman drones, all kinds of things like that. Or he's just in hiding right now, and the Joker's just waiting for him to come out and play. Bottom line, so. It could be interesting. I have no idea, but and like I said, this is a rumor. It could be true. I mean, it would make sense, if we saw some footage of Batman, just like kind of like you show him on like a computer, on like a TV, like fighting or whatever. This was the Batman. What do you know about him? Where was he? And stuff like that. So, we don't know yet. But what do you guys think?
Just to throw Batman into the mix, just as in general?
It connects everything. That's what I like about it. Instead of, all right, here's another good point. Instead of just saying, okay, here's a setup story just for Batman. Here's a setup story just for Superman. Here's a setup story just for Aquaman and Wonder Woman. They're just putting all their players in key right now, and then they're just to say, okay, release the bad guys or whatever.
Yeah, because the bad guys especially are the ones that tie them together.
Everybody's saying it's doing the opposite of what Marvel did. Instead of just doing like the separate movies like I just talked about and then bringing them together,
keeps them together.
They're just saying, okay, here, we don't have to have introductory stories. This is what happened. All that past stuff has happened, and now we're just go right into it.
This is just a story that happens within this element. We're just quoting on there. So this is just an episode. It doesn't have any link to anything else. It's just this is just one incident or something like that.
Kind of. Well, I mean, there's more. I mean, Batman's going to be talked about. He's going to be mentioned in there. But I mean, there's more to the whole Suicide Squad movie or whatever.
Exactly.
It could be after like a chemical weapon, if I'm not mistaken. Could be setting up. Oh my God.
Some kind of terrorization.
Well, no, the bad guy.
Joker.
Lex Luthor. Lex
okay.
Luthor. It could be setting up Lex Luthor for his suit that he has, though, too. So, I mean, I don't know. It could be a number of different things, but maybe DC is just like, okay, we've seen what Marvel's going to do. We're going to take a different spin on this, and that could be a great thing. So,
just from a storytelling
I like it just because it's a little different anyway from what we've seen.
Well, we've seen it's kind of seeing how it's kind of like the 3-part.
We know how Batman has started. We don't need to see that all over again or whatever. It's called Gotham. It's called Batman Begins, but they're still going to show the parent murder scenes in Batman versus Superman. We already know that. I can live with that. I can get over that or whatever.
Yeah, it's just don't give me another origin stories again. Cause it's cliched now. Let's be honest.
Right. And maybe Man of Steel was the only origin story we might get. Who knows? I mean, that could be.
Wonder Woman just comes out. She's just that. Yeah. I am interested to see how they will handle Suicide Squad itself because just of all the villain characters that you have in there. So
yeah.
I really just hope it's good.
There's a lot more build up for this, I think, than Batman versus Superman. Now,
I think so. Yeah,
mind you that Batman versus Superman has already been filmed already.
It's already been filmed. It's just in editing. So
right. Yeah, and that takes a lot of stuff to do that. So
true.
Anyway, moving on. Yeah,
it's back.
He's back. Ryan Reynolds has been talking a little bit more Deadpool, and actually I think it's about to start shooting, if not this week, then in the next week or so.
I hope they didn't wear their brown underpants.
Yeah. He says in an interview, I'm incredibly happy about the Deadpool movie. We've got a director that understands the world and writers with the slavish devotion to the canon of the character. It's made in a way the most critical of fanboys could embrace. Well, that's the hype. That's the hope.
Yeah.
So my question to you guys is it okay to please the fanboys, or do you just want to be ballsy and just say, hey, we know what we're doing. We know we're not going to please everybody. Which you never will, or whatever. There's going to be somebody.
Do you want to make a good movie, or do you want to make fan service? In other words,
yeah.
With Deadpool, it's like if you want to rectify yourself and get back in touch with the viewers, it would be fan service basically.
Mm-hmm.
But
after
again,
what happened in the last so-called Deadpool character, you almost have to.
Kind of have to do fan service
Yeah.
in other regards. So
falls into kind of similar territory that Disney, I can say Disney now, yeah. Lucasfilm had with the previous Star Wars movies. It got, into a territory that they shouldn't have gotten.
Right.
And then, you had a Deadpool character that really wasn't Deadpool for the end part of the movie. And now you have to go back, you have to get that bad taste out of everybody's mouth. And then you have to create something brand new, though, too, at the same time.
So it's, in regards to it, basically makes some fan service, which is fine. I mean, it's going to, that's what's going to dictate the film itself, but... Yeah, that's a sad thing I keep going to. It's like, it's going to be fan service.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
That's good. I mean, if it's going to be shot or released in February, I mean, it's not going to be for everybody.
Yeah, it's
whatever,
not going to be.
No,
we're not going to Oscar with this. No,
no, and hey, I'd rather the opposite anyway. So that's fine. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I just want it to be, kind of true to the character. But we know that movies can change up a comic book, and that's fine. But just kind of have, hey, oh yeah, that's like kind of a Easter egg for somebody or whatever, though, too. And it's like, maybe that's what he's talking about, too.
He's talking about that one thing, or that sword has this certain thing on it, in regards to it. But at the same time, it's like, just have fun with the character and just be true to it. That's all I got to say.
Yep, that's all I got to say about that. There's a little thing called SFXX. SFSX. I don't know if you guys have heard of that.
South by Southwest?
Yes, sure.
Hey!
Yay, it has like early movie releases, music, and all kinds of stuff. Anyway,
music and movie festival down in Texas.
Never heard of it before. Oh well. Ding for whammy for me. Sorry, I am the movie guy.
We both knew it off the top of our heads.
Yeah, good job. Furious 7 had an early release out there, as a matter of fact. Good job, boys. Give you the ding for that. Now, and I will also give a ding for Furious 7 because it is getting early and great reviews right now.
Oh, thank God.
So,
I need to borrow the movies from you, by the way.
yeah. I'm on, right now, I'm doing still my Fast and Furious binge right now. I skipped the middle two. I mean, even though I own Too Fast, Too Furious. I watched Fast and Furious over the weekend, and it's pretty good or whatever. It's the sequel we wanted, but let me rephrase that. It's a sequel that needed to happen or whatever because we needed a sequel to Point Break, and it just wasn't as. Actually, I almost want to say I like the first one better. I never thought I would say that or whatever.
Yeah, first one's way better than 2, dude. Let's be honest.
Well, I count Fast and Furious as 2, but it's the fourth one in the series anyway, though, too. Now, I love Fast 5 and I loved Fast and Furious 6. Now, those are the next two I have to watch. We only have a couple weeks, actually, till that happens. Yeah, but everybody's saying, no spoilers. I won't give you any spoilers because I haven't even seen the movie. But everything I read was saying that, the whole how it was treated for the whole Brian O'Connor character, Paul Walker, it was done right, and you can barely even tell that his brothers are even in there too, or whatever. And there, it's got minor flaws, but it's a Fast and the Furious movie, and it's
you're not going for perfection.
No, you're seeing cars turbo boosting. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Knight Rider. You're seeing a car jump from building to building with Jason Statham. Say it.
Jason Statham.
Say it.
Statham.
No.
Drew
the Jason.
Dominic Toretto. You don't know me yet, but you will.
Right. When you're just going to see, the Transporter versus, Triple X. And The Rock. Oh, I really hope they have that fight in there. Daddy's got to go to work. So, moving on to a few other things right now. We had a Spectre teaser poster come out in the last day or so, whatever. I think you guys did have a chance to get a look at it. It is now up on our Instagram right now. Bradley, I talked to you about this yesterday. It is a cross between, well, it is Daniel Craig sitting in there, more of like a black turtleneck and darker pants with the Walther and the brown leather gun strap, and it just says Spectre on there. And pretty much what it looks like is a throwback to Live and Let Die / Bullet. And,
Bullet, especially.
Yeah, Steve McQueen Bullet.
I get,
And I almost want to go watch both movies right now, and I want to see Daniel Craig star in both of them. Now, we know that Sam Mendes and Daniel Craig are big fans of Live and Let Die. Apparently, that was the first one that Sam Mendes watched, if I'm not mistaken, or whatever.
Really? Live and Let Die?
I believe it was Live and Let Die. I think was one of his, It was interesting. I mean, I like Live and Let Die. I mean, it's not the best Roger Moore movie, and it's definitely not the best James Bond movie.
God.
No. But, it was a big change for, the series itself, though, too. JR, go ahead.
I mean, let's be honest. Live and Let Die, which they were trying to compete with the exploitation style films that were coming out at the time.
Well, James Bond always changes with the times, and
JR's big change.
JR is witnessing that right now as he's doing his James Bond binge, starting with Dr. No. I believe you just watched Thunderball, as a matter of fact, too.
Nice.
And I said this off the air, and I'll say it right now. I really love Thunderball. Okay, probably one of the better Sean Connery movies. I told you guys this before. My problem with that is the producer on that, who pretty much really screwed over the Broccoli family. That
guy.
Kevin McClory, because he's I'd rather piss on his grave if I could, for holding the rights to the actually, because of this Spectre or whatever. He helped Ian Fleming write that, and he decided well, I'm going to sue you, which he did, and he tried to get the rights back to it or whatever. Now the rights are back to the family, hence we have Spectre. So this is good. Going back to the picture though, I think it's it looks classic Bond. It's simple,
yeah,
but it's a good throwback though too. And we know Bond's going to be playing in the snow, and probably have some good car chases and ski chases in there, some very lovely women. The trailer is rumored to be released on that surge. The trailer is rumored to be released on March 28th. We will see what happens there. A couple more things. Hunger Games Part 2. We kind of had a teaser trailer for that today. We at least had a new poster for that. It's nothing fancy or whatever. It's just pretty much showing the Mockingjay being released. And, we'll post that on the Bohs website. Yeah, I'm running out of time here. I'll have to talk about this Ghostbuster stuff another time, but we do know that it's going to be it was talked with the director Paul Feig, that it's going to be released on June 15th of next year. PG-13, shooting in New York, and that's about all I have. All right. So we're short on time. Anyway, recommendations for the week, boys. Go for it.
Sure. Actually, just released on the PC and still up on Xbox One's marketplace, if I'm not mistaken. Ori and the Blind Forest. This was announced back at E3 last year as pretty much this kind of like little indie but kind of cutesy looking game. I got to play a little bit of it, I must say. It's actually pretty good for if you like old school 2D Metroidvania style games, especially. Very beautiful art style, I must say, to the game. And again, it's like if you played Metroid or Castlevania style games, it follows in the same light as you have an interconnected world that you travel around. Great 2D platforming, and just very interesting kind of mechanics to that game, especially from that old school kind of tradition. Has that kind of 2.5D. No, it doesn't do the 2.5D. It just does the 2D style gameplay, but still something to look out for. I did know one of my friends on Steam did have a save corruption file, so I don't know if that's permanent across everything, but still something to definitely look at. PC and Xbox One, Ori and the Blind Forest. Dig it.
Sounds good.
Sunday night, went to go see Hollywood Undead at Baltimore Soundstage. The new album sounds absolutely, best word, not perfect, but you wait for a band from their first album to make that one album where you're like, okay, they've officially grown up, but they haven't lost sight of who they were when they first started music. This album is it. It's got a lot more maturity, a lot more growth instrumental-wise, but they still do not let go of the let's get drunk and look at naked girls and get completely stoned and crap face when we do it. And it was fun from start to finish at that show. New album drops March 30th. Go get it.
Very good. This week it is going to be The Gunman. It's Sean Penn doing his whole Liam Neeson thing from the director of Taken, with Javier Bardem in it, playing the bad guy. Not getting the best reviews. I'm going to say skip it and just continue Fast and Furious marathon on there too.
Or James Bond marathon.
Huh?
Or
you could do the James Bond marathon. You have 23 films.
Yeah.
So,
I'll definitely be skipping Quantum of Solace.
Hey. We'll talk about that another time. Actually, you know what? We'll do our James Bond episode this year. How about that?
I need to catch back up again.
I'll be able to talk about it.
Yay!
Must be that time.
Yeah. The fight.
Fight.
Round 1.
Almost. I'll be buying that game, believe me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. In the meantime, find us at thebanteringbohs.com. There you will find all of our latest shows and links to the various social media networks. Gentlemen, have a great week.
You too, sir.
You too, sir.
And to everyone listening, thanks for joining us as always, and we will catch you next week. Peace out.
Put him in a coffin.
Surge out. Hey there, folks. Do make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at The Bantering Bohs. Also, be sure to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/The Bantering Bohs. Thank you, and deuces.